Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Concern Podcast, where we unpack political, social, economic, and cultural stories shaping our world. I am Emmanuel Taban. Now, today, the South Sudan People's Defense Forces, the leadership of the SSPDF, has officially labeled the Red Bell movement as a rebel movement rather than a community vigilant outfit. Now, this declaration came after a joint military operation was carried out across Juba and impounded both small and heavy weapons, uniform and logos of the Red Bell movement that clearly tells that this is not a community protection group rather than a rebel movement. But before we proceed with this video, if this is your first time watching a video on this channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, like, comment, and if the videos interest you, share with your colleagues and your circle. Now, the statement was issued officially by the Director of Press and Media and also the Army spokesperson of the SSPDF, Brigadier General Lul Roy Kang. And I want us to read this statement issued today by the Major General spokesperson of the SSPDF. This is what he said. SSPDF Chief of Defense Forces declares Red Bell movement as a rebel group. The SSPDF Chief of Defense Forces, General Dr. Paul Nang Majok, PhD, has officially declared the Jonglei State-based Red Bell movement as no longer a community-based armed vigilant group and ordered Lieutenant General Kong To Kong, Assistant Chief of Defense Forces, for operations to treat and deal with the members of the Red Bell movement like any other armed rebel groups fighting against the government and SSPDF in the country. The labeling came after a cache of both heavy and small armed uniforms charms were impounded in a white van during the recently concluded disarmament exercise conducted by Joint Security Forces in Juba. The designation of the Red Bell movement as a new rebel group came about because it had superseded traditional roles of a normal vigilant group in terms of the level of organization and organizational structures, resources mobilization, and arms acquisition, adoption of military ranking systems, designation of uniforms, emblems, logo, and coining slogans or motto, widening areas of operations, and establishments of cells in Juba and elsewhere. The aforementioned characteristics, among others, are crystal clear hallmarks of a rebel movement with political objectives. In line of the above descriptions and in execution of orders issued by SSPDF Chief of Defense Forces, SSPDF spokesman would like to inform own ranks and the public that as of today, 28th of October 2025, the Red Bell movement is officially declared as a rebel group. Attached are pictures, videos of heavy, small arms, and other items seized from operatives of the Red Bell movement here in Juba. Regards, Major General Lul Roy Kang, Director for Media and Press and SSPDF spokesperson, SSPDF headquarters, Bill Farm. Now you can see also pictures of the said weapons and the military uniform catch from the joint operation here. These are some of the pictures. Now, this labeling came after a few days. Remember when Dr. Paul Nang was appointed as the CDF, as the Chief of General Defense Forces. After just a few days, he made an announcement calling for the Red Bell movement to surrender their weapons and join the government for integration, or else an operation would be carried against them. And of course, as he said, after a few days, the operation was carried out a little bit in part of Juba, and they catch or impounded the said weapons, both small and heavy weapons, military uniforms, in a white van that they mentioned. Now, for context, for those who don't know the Red Bell movement, this is a Boer-based group that was based, of course, in Bor County of Jonglei State. And initially, the Red Bell movement had met themselves as a community protection or vigilant outfit, a group that protects members of their community against cattle raid, against child abduction, which shouldn't be happening in the 21st century, but anyhow, it still do exist in South Sudan. But later on, due to some of the activities that this group involved itself in, for instance, there are some cases that in one of the counties in Jonglei State, in Duke County, there was a money transfer agent who was actually robbed, and the cars was taken and weapons seized, and that attack was attributed to the Red Bell movement. But also there was recently a wrestling in Bor County that happened, and later what followed was a confrontation which led to some fatalities, and also that was attributed to the Red Bell movement. And for that reason, the state government of Jonglei State actually condemned the act, and they declared the Red Bell movement as an illegal group that is not protecting the community but has its political interest. But also the national government later came out and said that this group is no longer a community vigilant group. It is now just like they said, a rebel movement that is politically motivated, that has an interest of fighting against the SSPDF and the army of the country. And there's so many other cases that happen, of course, things to do with abductions, attacking government forces, and road ambushes, and some of these were attributed to the Red Bell movement. But today, the army spokesperson, the chief of defense forces through the army spokesperson, Brigadier Lulroy Kang, came out and made an official labeling and declaration making the Red Bell movement as a rebel movement but not a community vigilant group. And this was received by so many mixed reactions from the public. There are some people who believe that the community in Bor should have this Red Bell movement exist so that it protects the members of the community against the cattle raids and child abduction, which is happening in the country, in part of the state. But some people said a country shouldn't have, a different outfit, a different community armed outfit that should be protected, because if we are having communities outfit in the names of the Red Bell movement, and what is going to be the use of the military army, which is to protect its own citizen? What is going to be the use of these forces that we have already in existence? So these are some of the mixed reactions that the public has regarding these issues. Some people argue that we should only have one military that protects its people, and that is enshrined in the constitution, that the army of South Sudan is to protect its citizens against any external and internal aggression, and therefore we shouldn't be having a different community outfit in the names of the Red Bell movement. So tell us in the comment section what you feel about this move made by the South Sudan People's Defense Forces, if it is the right move or no. Thank you so much, and until next time, I remain Emmanuel Taban, and this is the Concern Podcast.